Okay, you're gonna help me make Alfredo sauce, homemade
Yeah.
Alfredo sauce. All right, please tell us what's going on here. What all do we have here?
We have 1 clove of peeled garlic,
Uh-huh,
some all-purpose flour,
uh-huh.
um, gnocchis, and butter. And then we have pepper
Okay,
and frozen meatballs.
okay. So it's going to be a very simple meal, right?
Yep.
And this Alfredo sauce we're gonna do is going to be very, very lean. All right. So I'm measuring 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, and I'm getting that ready before I melt the butter in the pan. All right, so I got butter melting here. It's about 1.5 tablespoons, maybe slightly less. And I'm grating some fresh garlic, the 1 clove of garlic that Aparna talked about, into the pan. And I'm going to stir that up and put some salt and pepper in it and flour in it once all the butter is melted. All right, so butter's melted. I just dumped the 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, grinding some pepper, a little bit of salt, about half a teaspoon, little bit less maybe. And I'm going to start whisking this all in together. And it should have the breadcrumb consistency when you're all done with it. The stove is on medium. Yep. All right. And as you can tell here, do you see that, Aparna? It's very breadcrumby, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm going to continue to whisk this until this is the fine consistency of breadcrumbs. All right, so as you can see, the breadcrumb consistency that I was talking about looks gorgeous, and I'm going to go ahead and put 3 cups of skim milk in here. I like to put, a little bit in at a time. So let's say this is about a third of it, about a cup, and put the heat on high or almost high. And I need to now mix the flour butter mix, the roux I guess, into the milk. And once this comes to a boil, I will add more milk. And then once that comes to a boil, I will add the final amount of milk. All right, that's coming to a boil, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, look at that, it's thickening. You can even tell. See that? It's getting bubbly.
Yep.
Okay, that's time to put another cup of milk in there. Keep stirring it. And that took about 1.5 to 2 minutes. So Aparna's been stirring that for about 2 minutes. And we're going to add the last bit of milk. So now all 3 cups of milk have gone into the saucepan. And Aparna, you were stirring constantly, correct?
Yep.
Yep. And you want the milk to thicken, and you don't want any of it to burn at the bottom of the pan. All right. See you in like a couple of minutes. All right, so it's been about 3 more minutes. We've been constantly stirring. We had to exchange the stirring duties here because Aparna was a little bit tired of it. And you can tell now the final sauce here has come to a boil, or has almost come to a boil. It'll boil up soon. And when it does, I'm going to turn the heat down to low and continue to stir it so that it does not boil over, and probably do that for half a minute, if that. There you go. See, it's boiling now. Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay. It's time to turn it down, or it's going to boil over. So there you go. And I'm going to continue to boil it. Occasionally, I have to remove it from the heat, or it's going to boil over. But constantly stirring it will avoid that. And it's done. Cool, right?
Cool.
All right. And We're gonna take it off the heat and let it rest for probably half an hour, and then it can go with the pasta. All right, I have a pot that's boiling, and I'm going to go ahead and put the gnocchi in there, cook it for about 2.5 minutes, and then stir the Alfredo sauce in there. Okay, so the gnocchis are rising, which means they are basically cooked. I'll give it 30 more seconds. I will drain this, and I will go ahead and add the Alfredo sauce, which is nice and thickening. See that?
Yeah, can't wait to eat it.
Cool. Priya? All right. Gnocchi's been drained, and we're gonna go ahead and put the Alfredo sauce in there. It's about a third of what we made, between a third and a half of what we made. Look at that.
Oh.
All right, and I'll mix it up with that spatula. There you go. That's just some yummy goodness going into the pan there. And I'm gonna serve it just like that, nice and creamy. Perna, you ready to try some of that gnocchi with the Alfredo sauce, homemade skinny Alfredo sauce? Just blow on it, make sure it's not too hot.
Very good.
Like it?
Thank you.
There you go. Homemade gnocchi with skinny Alfredo sauce.